another topic in this series of civic education lectures. We are going into another important area today, and the topic says methods of studying civic education. Methods of studying civic education. Straight to the point for today, we have several ways of studying civic education. But I want to list about 9 that will be important in what we want to do for this time. We are itemizing them on the board here. The first one that is important is what we call expository method. This method of studying civic education is a situation where a teacher comes in contact with the learners, our students, and the teacher uses all that he has regarding the subject and related to the subject to expose to the learners about this civic education. There are contents and materials. The subjects are explained properly to the students for proper understanding. That is expository method. Here you have expository, and that is to say it is exposed to the learners. That is civic education. And then you have the other one, inquiry method. That is number 2, inquiry method. This has to do with asking questions and then giving solutions to the questions that are asked. Seeking answers in these questions or to these questions. And so there are problems, there are challenges, and then you need to seek for or ask or make inquiries about how to solve such problems as far as they are related to civic education or anything within your environment. You want to know more about it. That is how to study civic education. You make inquiries. For instance, we talk about the coronavirus. You don't know how it comes and what it is all about. You make inquiries, you ask questions. Maybe you click to World Health Organization, United Nations, and the other channels to make inquiries and to find out. That is how you study civic education. And yet, there is another one, number 3 here, and that is observation method. Observation method. In this sense, the knowledge that you gain in civic education will help you to let somebody know and observe what is happening in the environment. Take for instance, there is something that you want to know, you don't know it, but you want to put a test to it. You put that thing on test and you sit back and you're watching that thing, watching the behavior, just like in sciences. You're watching the outcome of what you have put on that test. And then as it is functioning, you watch it and you find out. Take for instance, you go in now in civic education, you want to go and know how cultural marriages are held. You go be part of it, be there and you watch how traditional marriages are conducted. Is it festivals, like a New Yam festival, and whatever, you go, you observe. When you go and observe, you want to know more, and all these are ways of studying civic education because you want to gain more knowledge in the course. And I want to go over to the 4th one, and this 4th one is interview method. Interview method. In interview, we are talking about the process by which people ask questions on a given issue, either orally or through written means. It could be physical or it could be through network or internet, anyhow it goes. It has to do with people asking questions, trying to obtain answers because they are investigating something and they interview people and people give them answers. And then the resource persons or those that are carrying out the interview during the interview session will be able to make some deductions from the interview. That is the interview method. It's applicable in civic education. And that takes us to the next point, and that is point number 5. Point number 5, and it says discussion method. Discussion method. Most times, teachers and learners could sit together and they bring up an issue and they discuss. It could be a round table discussion, it could be a one-on-one discussion, or any kind of interaction that involves the teacher and the learners, and they are discussing. Well, it must not be through physical contact. It could be an internet affair or whatever, but the major thing here is that there has to be discussion that goes on between the learner and the teacher. Like elders, when they are meeting, they discuss. Parents discuss. Other members of the public discuss. Even in several meetings, you discuss. And as discussions are going on, you find out that a teacher, discusses, a student also discusses, and they put their heads together and they come up with what is required or desired in that subject or topic of discussion. That is that method. I want to quickly go to the other one, and that is number 6 here in the series. It says excursion method. Excursion method. Simply put, excursion is sightseeing that is provided to students and those who are learning, who want to know more about a particular scenario. And then by this excursion and going out to see something you have not seen before, or you want to gain knowledge about, you get wide range of knowledge. You learn more from that outing. Most times teachers organize excursion outings for their students, and when they go, they learn a lot of things. Take for instance, a student organizes an excursion to an airport, and they go, they learn how aeroplanes land and take off, the runways and the rest of them, or seaport or zoo, wherever those students go in such discussions. They learn zoo, banks, airports, even companies and their production processes. These are excursions, very important. It is conducted everywhere by beautiful teachers. Then I want to go over to this other number, and that number is number 7, debate and drama. Debate and drama are another way of learning civic education. A topic could arise, and you put it to students to arrange a debate, maybe a hot one, and they will debate it. Take for instance, politics is a dirty game. You have some students that will debate for, and others are against. At the end of the day, they will research and bring ideas, fresh ideas on the topic. It could also be dramatized. This is just an instance. And so civic education can be studied using the method of debates and drama. And then we go to this other one, that is number 8, experience method. Experience method. By experience, we are talking about what someone knows, and you are participating actively in it, and you are passing through it, and it becomes your personal experience. When you pass through it and gain the personal experience, then you will get more knowledge than getting it as a second-hand information, third-hand information, and so forth and so on. By this experience, when you must have passed through that process, you gain knowledge and learn civic education. I want to turn us to this other point. It may not be the last, but in the series we're looking at it as the last. Audio-visual method. Audio-visual method. Some of us watch televisions. Some of us listen to radios. We browse the internet and some other things, especially nowadays. Sometimes you hear people speak. You hear casters as they cast news. You hear people as they put things together visually. You see them, and so audio has to do with hearing. Visual has to do with sightseeing. Now, when you say audiovisual, you're talking about what you're seeing. What I'm doing now is this system I'm talking about, audiovisual. I'm talking and you're hearing me. At the same time, you're seeing what I'm doing. You're watching me. This method is a very important method of studying civic education. And so, in various places, that is what is in vogue now. If you go to YouTube channel, you go to some other places, even WhatsApp, Facebook, Instagram, and such other places, you will see this applying. Audiovisual is the end thing now that one can study civic education. By the next time we'll go into another topic. I want you to subscribe to this channel because certainly you have a grade if you're following this channel. Thank you. Watch again next time. You're welcome.